This is Motorsport Radio.
We have got another Superbike rider with us today. Very happy to introduce Josh Owens. Hi,
right.
Josh.
You all right? Yeah, not bad, you?
Not so bad, thanks. So first question, has to be, how are you and your family? Have you been safe and well during this difficult period?
Yeah, obviously everyone's been in the house and stuff like that, but luckily enough for myself and my mum and my dad, we've all been working still, so it's not been too different. I mean, obviously apart from not being able to go out and do the normal stuff, but luckily not been going insane too much. I've been able to go to work still every day, so yeah, kept my sanity a bit, and obviously just kept on with. I had a little bit extra time to go cycling and running, and that's about it really. But yeah, everyone's fine at the house, and hopefully everything's all right your end.
Yes, good, thank you. Like yourself, I've been working as well, so just carried on regardless, really.
Yeah, good.
You said about your training, as lockdown, you had to adapt your training for lockdown?
No, not really. I mean, I don't really like the gym that much. I don't like being inside a lot, so I just normally always cycle and run, and that's basically where I just kept that out. Being able to, if I haven't been able to go outside, I've been on the indoor training on the push bike, but mainly the weather's been good and stuff like that, so I've been able to stay out and go cycling and stuff, which is what I mainly focus on, cardio, because I'm already quite a stockiest lad, so I don't want to bulk up too much, so I've already got a bit of a chest off me.
And are you increasing the cardio now? We've got a start date, a definitive start date?
No, I just keep the same sort of level, really. I mean, there's no point dropping off and stuff, so just the good thing is I enjoy what the training I do, so it's no qualm to me, so I can just carry it on regardless. So,
and obviously we've got a start date for the BSB now.
Yeah.
I think it's very pleased.
Yeah, made up to be. I mean, the last couple of weeks or so, managed to get onto a track day I've got a track bike ZX10, which we got at the beginning of the year. Obviously, I haven't been able to use it, so I've been going out on that. So, yeah, I've made up to get back on the bike, and hopefully now racing will start. And I think obviously it's going to be a strange old, first round's probably going to be a little bit, stepping stone, seeing what we can and can't do and stuff like that. And from there, I think it'll just be good to enjoy it and get back on a bike and work towards next year.
And this will be, you did a part season in 2019 in BSB, and you re-signed with Dean Hipwell in the team again. So obviously you had a good relationship with them, you enjoyed your time with them, and you were happy to re-sign? Yeah,
that's it. I mean, obviously last year was a little a rough start to the year, and then we decided to run our own bike, and then just after Cadwell, Dean got in contact, and obviously with his... he got obviously not well himself and stuff like that. He's got his own few issues, so he was looking for a rider, and he got in contacted me and seen like, what, I'm only young, so may as well just take the gamble and have a go. And I enjoyed it, and obviously we had a few technical issues with the bike, but we figured them out, and I was obviously getting used to it, so it just seemed like a good idea, and it seemed like a good deal to be had, and just thought may as well just take the chance, and what's the worst that can happen, really. So good relationship with Dean, and obviously we went to Spain testing and got on with everyone really well, and feel like we're starting to click more and more. So very good.
So you mentioned the Spanish test. Did you do both of them, or just the one? And how did you find the bike, and were you getting settled?
Yeah, obviously we did the Monte Blanco test and the Jerez test. Monte Blanco was really good. We started off, me. Again, obviously come from the 600 or the Moto 2, should I say, the riding style is totally different. So that was what the main focus was on, not so much setting the bike up at the start. It was mainly just me trying to get used to it, right? Take a step back, don't worry about too much your lap times, and just try and focus on learning how to ride a superbike like a superbike. Obviously, towards the end, I felt like, I did. I made, for myself, I made massive jumps. Probably because I've done with a few more tyres rather than scrubs, because I think that held us back a little bit. But no, the Monte Blanco test was good. When we got there, we had a difficult time. We had an issue with the engine when we got there. not a mechanical fault. Well, it was a mechanical fault, but wasn't caused by anything the team had done. It was just, I've got a feeling that maybe in the way it's transported caused something to push inside the engine. So that obviously meant we basically missed the first day, and then the second day with the weather, everyone was in the same situation. No one could really get going, so that wasn't correct. Maybe not as positive as Monteblanco, but it definitely came away a lot more positive towards riding the Superbike than it was last year. So yeah, no, it was good all around really. So.
And you said about the different riding styles required to get the best out of the GP2 bike that you've done, and obviously getting onto the Superbike. Can you sort of explain a bit more of the differences between the two in the styles you need, please?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the GP2, it takes, it's a lot more about corner speed and trying not to slow the bike down too much, especially with the CBR motor being a rev-happy engine. You're constantly trying to keep the revs up and keep your speed up. And I think the way the Moto 2 works with the Pirellis, you can't necessarily, you find a lot of the time the super sport lads can outbrake you, whereas you struggle to brake late sometimes on the Moto 2, partly because of the way the frame works with the Pirellis, I think. So then jumping on the Superbike, I found, obviously, it's just about stopping it as late as you can and trying to fire it out of the turn as fast as you can, basically. Try and get it on the flat part of the tyre and get the grip. Whereas on the GP2, it's not always necessarily about that. So I think learning for me was learning how deep you can actually brake into the turn compared to the GP2. That's where I found that the most, trying to get used to that. And obviously, the way you enter, sometimes your lines are a little bit, try almost make the turn into a triangle sometimes to try and fire it out as best you can. They're the main things, is stopping it and getting it out of the turn. Not necessarily carrying as much corner speed, but just trying to make try and get on that throttle for as long as you can, really. That's where the time's made up, unleash the beast.
So, with the schedule that's been announced, 6 rounds over 5 tracks, are the tracks, the 5 tracks, the ones you favour? You like them? Is there a track that's not on there you would have liked to have seen on there?
No, to be fair, I quite like all of them. Quite happy that we're doing Donington twice. That's probably one of my favourite tracks. So quite happy to be going there. And yeah, the rest of them, yeah, I'm happy with how it's got. Should be a good few rounds. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And would you say Donington is your favourite track in the UK, or do you have another one?
No, I do like riding around Donington. I quite like Thruxton as well. I've always gone well there, and I think because it's such a fast-flowing track, I enjoy high corner speed and stuff. So yeah, probably Thruxton's maybe my favourite, but yeah, Donington I do something about it. Just it's really nice and flowing. I like it. And finish up with: have you set yourself any goals, or have you got any aims for the 2020 season? It's hard to say really now. It's been that long since I've been with the pack. I mean, at the beginning of the year, after the full year, I would have liked to have said, I've scored maybe a point or two towards the end of the year. Obviously now I'm on the, not a backward step because everyone's in the same situation, but obviously not having as much track time, maybe I might not get to that point. But I think the main thing is for me is to try and just stay on all the time each weekend and try and learn as much as I can off people and hope to work towards maybe 2021. Like I say, hopefully as long as I can stay where I am and keep on learning, hopefully use what's left of this year as another learning year as such, and just try and learn off some people. And yeah, I think as long as we can just stay on, and the main thing is enjoy it as well. Got to enjoy it, otherwise there's no point doing it really.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us today, Josh.
No worries, it's been a pleasure. And then obviously I'd like to say thanks to everyone who's stayed on board, after these hard times. I know it's hard for everyone, and everyone's just in the same boat. So everyone who's staying on to keep on sponsoring me, obviously, a massive thank you to them, and I wouldn't be doing it without it. And yeah, thanks to the team and all that. See them soon.
Well, thanks, Josh, and best of luck for the 2020 British Superbike season.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Take care.
Yeah.
This is Motorsport Radio.